the Divine Comedy has shaped the church's articulation of heaven, hell, and purgatory, and even in society?
Well, that's a very good question. Actually, I think Dante was he was very well read theologically. He read Aquinas, and he liked Thomas Aquinas, and incorporated Thomas Aquinas and Francis of Assisi and those people into the Divine Comedy. And I would say it's more the opposite, that Dante is not a theologian himself, but he was well read. And it's Catholic theology impacted Dante more than Dante impacted Catholic theology. Now, he was a great poet, so he developed all of these, the imagery and so forth, which has had a certain impact, like, say, the scenes of creation of the Sistine Chapel by Michelangelo, and people kind of associate some of those things with that imagery. But it's more theology influenced Dante, and as he wrote his Divine Comedy and the different kinds of approaches, there's a lot of actually a very good Thomistic theology woven all through the Divine Comedy. You might say it's something like Catholic theology influencing The Lord of the Rings and J.R.R. Tolkien.
Right.
So if you know Catholic theology, you can see how it's found all throughout Tolkien's writing. So I would say it's the opposite way, that the Catholic theology influenced him.
I see.
And of course, once you put something like Tolkien in the Lord of the Rings, or the same way Dante's Divine Comedy, it's specifically Christian, which Tolkien is not specifically, but they're both kind of mythic. They're creating images and stories and a narrative, and so you have the mountain and going down into the depths of purgatory and hell and so forth, and all of that's imagery. So if you have to remember, when you're reading Dante, you're not reading theology, you're reading epic poetry and a kind of a mythic language that's very similar in many ways to the language that Tolkien developed for The Lord of the Rings.
Okay. So yes, it's almost the opposite there that I was asking the question. It's really the Catholic theology has influenced Dante more so than Dante has influenced the Catholic theology.
And Dante's poetry is very fascinating, but he's not literally teaching theology by those images.
Right.
You find it, like with Tolkien, you find it woven into everything he's saying.
Okay. All right. Thank you.